Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today I'm going to be doing my NFL Week 1 picks and predictions. As tomorrow, the NFL is back. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions face off, and the Kansas City Chiefs get to celebrate their Super Bowl win against the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Detroit Lions, a new-look team who've upgraded their offense. They've added in Marvin Jones Jr. brought him back from the Jaguars. They drafted Jamar Gibbs. They signed David Montgomery. They're also going to have Jamison Williams, who's going to be more healthy this season after only playing one game as a rookie, although he will not play Week 1 or the first 6 weeks of the season due to being suspended due to gambling. Jamison Williams will be out, but they do have Amon-Ra St. Brown going into his third NFL season, and Marvin Jones Jr., a couple others, Josh Reynolds, another solid wide receiver. They drafted a tight end, Sam Laporta. This is a solid Lions team, and drafted some defense in the draft as well. Signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson. This is an improved Lions team. I can't wait for tomorrow's game to start this NFL season. And let's get into my predictions. So, starting with the Lions and the Chiefs, Travis Kelce is questionable. I don't, as a Travis Kelce fantasy owner, I want Travis Kelce to play, but I have this really, really bad feeling Travis Kelce's not going to play Week 1 tomorrow. And if Travis Kelce does not play tomorrow, Patrick Mahomes has to deal with this new Kansas City Chiefs offense. I mean, obviously, you got a new offensive coordinator. Andy Reid will be calling the plays, but Eric Bieniemy is gone. Juju Smith-Schuster is gone. His two best wide receivers are Kadarius Toney and Marquez Valdes-Scantling. But after that, there's really no saying who's going to be the best wide receivers for the Chiefs after that. Is it going to be Richie James? Is it going to be Sky Moore or the right? His name's Rice. I can't remember his first name. It starts with an R. Is he going to be like he has to build some new relationships with some of these new wide receivers like Richie James Jr. and I think it's Rashee Rice, and even Sky Moore, who did not play a lot at wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs last year. I mean, obviously he will have Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Kadarius Toney, who played for most of the season last year, but without Kelce, I really think the Kansas City Chiefs could be doomed in this Week 1 matchup against the Detroit Lions. I think Jamar Gibbs is going to have a good game. I think same thing goes for Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff. And I think this Lions defense, I think Aiden Hutchinson's going to bring some great pressure to Mahomes. And that could be a real tough challenge for Patrick Mahomes. But if the Lions are going to win this ball game, it's going to be by a close ball game. I think the Lions win this game tomorrow, 26-23. Now, if Kelce plays, I think it's different. I think you probably see the Chiefs win. But if no Kelce, which I'm thinking you will not see Travis Kelce out there tomorrow. If Travis Kelce does not play for the Kansas City Chiefs tomorrow, I think the Detroit Lions will steal a win in Week 1 against the Kansas City Chiefs. If Kelce plays, I think most likely you will see the Chiefs probably win by in the area of 5 to 7 points. But I think it's going to be a close game either way. But if Kelce plays, the Chiefs are screwed. All right. Then getting to Sunday's games and even Monday Night Football. Bengals Browns. I have the Cincinnati Bengals beating the Cleveland Browns 29-23. Divisional matchup. Joe Burrow. We know the stuff about his injury that he missed most of training camp for and the whole preseason, even though he wouldn't have played in the preseason anyways. Will that affect him? No, but I think the Browns will keep it close, and I think the Bengals will win 29-23 in a close matchup. All right, then another divisional matchup. There's a lot of divisional matchups in this Week 1, but we're going to be going over the Jaguars and the Jags and the Colts. This game's in Indianapolis. This is Anthony Richardson's NFL debut. I think this will be a close, low-scoring game. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars winning 17-15. I know that's a weird score. The way I see this game going down to the wire, and I think the Jags will be winning 17-9 in the fourth quarter, and the Colts will score a touchdown, and it will be 15-17, and the Colts will go for 2, but the Jags defense will get a stop and stop this Colts offense, and the Colts were trying to force overtime, and the Jags stopped them, and the Jags win the game 17-15. I know that's a wild prediction, but I think the Jaguars win 17-15. And then the game that would be the least interesting to watch. Now, if you're a Commanders fan, it will be fun to watch, but the Cardinals fan or an NFL fan who just does not want to watch the Cardinals, I have the Commanders winning 34-10 against the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals are a dumpster fire this year. I like Joshua Dobbs, and he has a couple solid weapons. You have James Conner, you have Marquise Brown, and Zach Ertz. So maybe you can get some things getting to go, get going on offense, but it's not going to be much. I think the Washington Commanders have a field day on Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. I think Sam Howell shows some great things week one. The Commanders win by 24 points, 34-10 at home for Washington. All right, then another divisional matchup. This is the third divisional matchup of week one so far. The Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Number one overall pick, Bryce Young's NFL debut. This is a road game. It will be a tough challenge for Bryce Young. I think it's going to be a one-score game. I think the Atlanta Falcons will beat the Carolina Panthers 26-13. And then my Houston Texans at the Baltimore Ravens. And this is another rookie quarterback making his debut, C.J. Stroud. And it's number 2 overall, C.J. Stroud making his debut. And number 3 overall, Will Anderson Jr. I think Will Anderson Jr. will get his first sack of his career. I think Lamar Jackson will throw 2 touchdown passes. I think he'll throw 3 touchdown passes to Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, and Mark Andrews, and then J.K. Dobbins will get a rushing touchdown as well. I think C.J. Stroud will throw his first career NFL touchdown pass. I think Dameon Pierce will get a touchdown run. But I think ultimately, the Ravens win this ballgame by 8. I think the Texans will keep this game close in the first half and most of the third quarter, but then the Ravens will start to pull away at the end of the game. You got to remember, this is an underrated Texans team. They have a better defense, a better offense, and better coaching system. And also, this is a new Baltimore Ravens offense. Some new faces in the offense for Lamar Jackson, a new OC. So I think the Ravens will win this game 28-20, and the Texans will fall short. All right. And then for the Saints and Titans, I have the Saints beating the Titans 24-17 at home. I think the Saints will get off to a good start to start the season. I actually think the Saints will be, the way I have this game going out, I have the Titans starting this game winning 14-3, but then the Saints come back to win the game 24-17. And then the biggest upset I have of the whole week is the Pittsburgh Steelers beating the San Francisco 49ers 20-17. I think the Steelers, you got a matchup right here where this is 2 great defenses facing up against each other. 49ers, better offense than the Steelers. Steelers have a good offense and have a really better offense than they did last year. Kenny Pickett and George Pickett's going in their second years. They're going to be better. They traded for Allen Robinson. Jalen Warren's way better in his second year as well. Najee Harris going into his third season. This is going to be a better offense for the Steelers. They weren't that great last year. They were ranked like 25th in offense last year. But Brock Purdy's first game back since having shoulder surgery, I think he could struggle a lot against the Steelers defense. I think TJ Watt and the Steelers defensive line are going to bring some great pressure to Brock Purdy, and that could mean a lot of trouble for Brock. And George Kittle is also questionable to play in this ball game. So I think the Steelers, and this game's at home for Pittsburgh. This is a road game for San Francisco. I think the Steelers start off the season on a high note, and the Steelers win 20-17. All right, Vikings, Bucks. This is in Minnesota. I think the Vikings will win 34-27. I think this will be a back and forth game, and the Vikings will hold off. I think the Vikings will throw a game-winning touchdown pass to KJ Osborne, and the Vikings will win. I think Justin Jefferson at least gets a touchdown, maybe 2, and this will be a shootout between the two squads, as I have the Vikings winning 34-27. And then, starting with the later afternoon games, I think this will be a great game. Not the Cincinnati Bengals. The Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers, another divisional matchup in Week 1. I think this will be a close game. This will be Jordan Love's first start for the Green Bay Packers as their starter. I think Jordan Love will have a good game, but this game's in Chicago. Justin Fields and DJ Moore at home, and the Bears have upgraded their defense and their offensive line, and some of their weapons as well on offense for Justin Fields, adding in DJ Moore, Robert Tonyan, Mercedes Lewis, also adding in Deontay Foreman, and if they added anybody else, I'm sorry I missed that person too. But I think the Bears win this one in a close one with the Packers. I think Jordan Love has a good game, but the Bears win 28-24. And then another divisional matchup, I had the Denver Broncos beating the Las Vegas Raiders 27-16. I think Garoppolo has a solid Raiders debut, but I think the Broncos and Russell Wilson and Sean Payton and his head coaching debut for the Denver Broncos have a really, really good start to the year, winning 27-16 against the Raiders. Then I think this will be one of the best games of Week 1. I think the Miami Dolphins on the road against the Los Angeles Chargers will beat the Chargers 31-27 in a back-and-forth good game. I think Tua has a good game, so does Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. And the Dolphins hold off maybe a little bit of a comeback here by Miami. And the Chargers start 0-1, and the Dolphins start 1-0. And then one of the biggest blowout, besides the Commanders beating the Cardinals, which I don't think really counts, are the Cardinals really considered an NFL team? I can't be talking. I've been a Texans fan my whole life. But I think this will, besides the Commanders and Cardinals game, this will be the biggest blowout of Week 1. The Philadelphia Eagles traveling to New England Week 1, and I have the Eagles beating the Patriots 32-13, a 19-point deficit for the New England Patriots, losing this ball game. And then Sunday Night Football, the first Sunday Night Football of the season, the Dallas Cowboys travel to New York to face the New York Giants, and I think the New York Giants will upset the Cowboys at home 24-21 in a really close game down to the wire between two divisional teams. And I also forgot one of the afternoon games, another divisional matchup. So many divisional matchups in Week 1. And I think the Seahawks will beat the Rams at home 27-14. I think Stafford plays okay, but no Cooper Kupp. Van Jefferson, I guess, is the number one wide receiver. So I think the Seahawks have a good day against the Los Angeles Rams in Week 1. And then Monday Night Football, another divisional matchup. I think the New York Jets upset the Buffalo Bills 33-30 at home Monday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers has a great Jets debut, and the Jets shocked the world and the Bills on Monday Night Football to start the season. All right, before I in this video and in these predictions, I want to go over all of the divisional matchups in week 1, which it's not off. It's definitely you do see a lot of divisional matchups in Week 1. I just don't know if I've seen this much in the past. Bengals Browns, that's 1. Jags Colts, that's 2. Panthers Falcons, that's 3. Then you got the Packers Bears, that's 4. And then the Rams and the Seahawks, it's 5. Cowboys and the Giants, that's 6. And then the Bills and the Jets, that's 7. So 7 divisional matchups in Week 1 out of the 16 matchups in Week 1. So almost half of these matchups in Week 1 are divisional matchups. You guys let me know your thoughts on my predictions. Please give me your predictions for Week 1 in the comment section, and peace out.